The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
I had a guy just recently, 5 months ago, in the thick of COVID-19. And he's crying to me, guys. I'm telling you, listen to me. This guy's crying. He has a huge multi-million-dollar business in the city. He has 2 showrooms that take up 2 full floors of a trophy building in Midtown, okay? 2 full floors. He has an army of people working for him. And he's crying to me, COVID. China's locked down. No shipments. They're not answering my calls in the factories. My buyers all of a sudden cut all their orders. My money is lying up. Rabbi, he tells me, my life's coming to an end. And the guy literally breaks down in front of me. I said, wait. I understand you're in a tough spot. I have an answer. So you have an answer? I said, yeah, I have an answer. What's your answer? You know how to get through to China? Tell them to open the factories again? Yeah, sure, Rabbi Duvi, yeah. I know how to get through to China. I have a hard enough time getting through to Brooklyn. Get through to China. He says, what are you going to do, Rabbi? I said, listen to me. I'm going to write down an address. I want you to go visit this address. You visit this address, all your troubles. You're going to give me an address of a big rabbi. Tzaddik Mikubal. Lamed Vav Tzaddikim, and the hidden Tzaddikim of Brooklyn, New York. 11223. I said, no, I'm going to do better. I write down the address and I hand it to him. I said, go to this address tomorrow. He looks at the address and he looks at me and he says, this address looks familiar. I said, I said, what's that address? He said, I don't know, that address looks familiar. I said, what is that address? Look better. He said, oh my God, Rabbi, how did you remember? This is the address of my first store in Fulton Street, 25 years ago. It wasn't even my store. I was renting space in someone else's store. I had this little showcase of 3.5 cell phones. 3.5 cell phones. Rabbi, how did you remember this address? I said, go down to that address and all your worries will disappear. He says, what are you talking about? I said, just do it. The next day he goes down to Fulton Street. See, at least sometimes, it's good to have a Rabbi if you're ready to listen. This guy went down to Fulton Street and he walks up to his old store. He walks inside and he sees a 16-year-old kid running a showcase. And he starts laughing. And he calls me from the store and he says to me, Rabbi, I got it now. I cannot believe that this is where I started from. I cannot believe that this was my first store. I cannot believe that this was my showcase. Look, I started from a 2x2 showcase in Fulton Street. And I was worried at that time if I'd be able to cover the $250 for the month of rent. It says, now, look what Hashem did for me. He gave me 2 full floors of workers and showrooms in trophy buildings in Midtown Manhattan. He says, Rabbi, you're not going to believe this. He says, I think you're a Navi, he tells me. He says, when I walked back outside, I bumped into my old flyer boy. I haven't seen the guy in over 25 years. An old black man. He said then he was a young kid. He says now he's an old black man and he's still giving out flyers. He's in the same spot giving out flyers. He says he looks at me and I looked at him because he used to work for me 25 years ago. And he says to me, what you doing here? What you doing here? What you doing here? You go uptown. You go uptown. You don't belong here. You go uptown. He's the guy screaming at him. You go up. You belong here. He says God was speaking through the Abed's mouth. He tells me. He said Hashem was speaking through this black guy's mouth. You don't belong here. You go uptown. Look what I did for you. And you're complaining to me? You think I don't know what I'm doing? You think I don't have this out? You don't think I don't know that your factories in China are closed? You don't think I know that you're in a pickle with your buyers? But look what I did for you. Look where far I brought you back to the pit in order to appreciate the royal garments and the crown that's on your head. Wow, 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 what a lesson. What a message, Rabotai. Listen to me. This to me is something off the charts. This is something that you need to do chazara on every day. When you live with this lesson of Yosef HaTzadik, of the Baruch Shasali Nes, of every moment of life, you'll be so appreciative. You'll be so thankful. Then Hashem will shower you with so much more. Because Hashem says, this guy's not an ingrate. He actually appreciates what I do. If that's the case, I'll be more than happy to give him as much more as he wants. Because whatever I give him, he appreciates it. Because the last guy you want to give anything to is an ingrate.